There is not and never will be anything quite like those early Atari classics. When someone says the word Atari, most of us think of the Atari 2600, but Atari as a company produced so much more than just that wood-grained beauty, including some of the greatest arcade games known to humankind. And now that the 50th anniversary of the company has come and gone, I figured I'd take a look at some of the highlights of the Atari catalog and talk about what I think made them so fun and successful, and what makes Atari games still fun to play. Have you ever played a game and been completely overwhelmed by what should be something simple, like a menu or a tutorial? Back in the 70s and 80s, there were definitely complex games, but the main idea of gaming was to pick up and play. Most games were in the arcades back then, and after you paid your quarter, you typically didn't want to spend a bunch of time reading or thumbing through menus. You just wanted to jump in and play. Therein lies the beautiful aspect of most Atari games. Easy to understand, anyone can pick it up and play, but it takes time to master it. It's an addictive gameplay design that will never go out of style. And more than any other console of the 1970s, the Atari 2600 delivered on this premise. Sure, there were some big instruction manuals that came with games, as well as some add-ons and different controllers, but the biggest hits and most memorable games in my opinion were the ones that were super simple, super fun, and super replayable. Yar's Revenge, Asteroids, Missile Command, just to name a few. It is impossibly addicting to try and crack your own high score in these titles, and while they aren't for everyone, I do think most people can appreciate the simplistic nature and pick up and play aspects of these games, especially Asteroids. In fact, as far as my memory goes, Asteroids is the first video game that I ever played. My dad had it installed on the family computer back in the mid-90s, and it was something I'd seen him play once or twice before he eventually offered to let me try it out. I was mesmerized, captivated by what I saw. To me, that was a real pilot in a real ship, shooting a real gun at real asteroids, and if me or my dad didn't help, he would be blown up and destroyed. For real. Of course, being probably about 4 or 5 years old, I had no idea how to actually do anything in the game, but it was an experience that really stuck with me and shaped how I perceived games in the future. And I think that's one of the reasons why I still play Asteroids and other games like that to this day. There's something beautiful in the simplicity. We all crave that from time to time, knowing exactly what you have to do and how to do it. The only thing standing in your way is your own skill or lack thereof. It's something that is innate in human beings. We want to figure things out and then do things, and I think that's what those early arcade classics from Atari really tap into. The first time you play Breakout, you quickly realize that your job is to keep that ball bouncing and to knock away all the pieces. So you do it instinctively over and over and over again until you can't keep up anymore. And then you pop in another quarter and you try again. And again and again. And that's why systems like the Atari 2600 will stick around forever. They have that simplistic appeal that so many gamers, young and old, yearn for, at least from time to time in their gaming careers.